Hi, this is Sanjay Gangal from EDACafe. I'm here with Cristian Amitroaie, CEO of AMIQ. Hello, Cristian.
Hello, Sanjay. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, thank you very much for coming over here. How has the show been going for you?
It's going well. It's a very good opportunity to meet with our customers and with our users and potential customers, right? And we have a lot of traffic, and it's fun. Yeah, it's very good. It's the best show for us.
That's great. So tell us about AMIQ, the company.
AMIQ is a company that exists for more than 10 years. So it was founded in 2003 actually. And it's divided into business units. One is a services business unit. That's how AMIQ originally started. And we have as expertise functional verification. This is our strong area. And AMIQ EDA, yes, which is developing software for EDA. And the company is based in Romania. That's where we have our headquarters. We have about 25 engineers on the services side in AMIQ Consulting, and 15 engineers on the software development on AMIQ EDA. The sales and marketing is done through reps, so we outsource all that. So this is about AMIQ.
Okay, and what is new with AMIQ, and what products are you showing here at your booth?
At our booth we show our flagship product. This is the DVT Eclipse IDE. It's something that we launched in 2005, and we continue to improve it based on feedback, based on the new demands of the industry. And we just made a major release before DVCon, and we are showing off the new features and collecting feedback, and so far it looks good. And in this major release, I'm not sure if you are familiar with the IDE. It's supposed to be, it stands for Integrated Development Environment, and it's supposed to help you be more efficient when you write code. So today we work with zillions of lines of code, and we have to understand them, we have to extend them, to maintain them, and so on. And you can no longer do that with plain text editors, or, if you want to play it hard, then you could still do that. So using an IDE, you can do that much more efficiently, and we see that the adoption grows more and more. And behind an IDE, there is a compiler that runs on the fly all the time. So every time you write something, it incrementally analyzes the code, and it updates the internal databases and all the views and all the information that it presents. And one major thing that we did in this release is further improving this compiler, both in terms of performance and in terms of the capabilities, in the sense that it detects many more errors that you could do. So it further reduces the write compile cycles. Yes? So this is one major thing. Another one is that we added more capabilities for UVM. So introduced a couple of new views to show the topology of a verification environment, to be able to query for different UVM factory related aspects that may influence the test bench behavior. And we added some visualization things that are specific to UVM. And another thing is, like, we did a sort of a facelifting, if you want, of the whole application. We redesigned a bit the GUI and the icons and menus, and all the flows are still there, so it's not a showstopper for our customers, but it looks much more comfortable. And we think it makes sense. Yes, today we all use simplified interfaces and so on, so we try to eliminate a lot of clutter. And so these are like the 3 points: improved compilation performance and functionality, improved UVM support, and the whole streamlined GUI. This is what we are showing at our booth.
So which languages does the IDE support?
We support e-language, SystemVerilog, and obviously Verilog and VHDL. And we support them in what we call a mixed language mode. So for example, you can sit in a design that is written in partially in VHDL and partially in Verilog, but you can click and see, jump from a Verilog source file to a VHDL source file and the other way around. So you don't feel you move between languages in a natural way. You don't feel the border that, okay, for now I need a tool for this language and a tool for another language. And this is the direction in which we want to go, because we want to cover PSL and power formats and other languages that are used in our domain. And an IDE being about working with code, and we write code using a mix of languages, because one language is good for one thing, another language is for another thing. So an IDE should be able to give you a smooth experience. For example, we have users that work a lot with the DVT, also on System C and C development, and I see that during this conference, System C appears to be a hot subject. And we know that when you take the DVT IDE and you work and you can browse your System C code and your SystemVerilog on the side, and you move naturally from the software aspect of or the model aspect of your environment to the verification. It's pretty convenient, yes. So
let me ask you this. All the major companies, Metro, Cadence, Synopsys, and lots of other companies who supply these languages, they supply their own IDEs as well, right? So do the customers of these major EDA companies also end up using your IDE because it is better, or do you have a different set of customers?
We don't have a different set of customers, yes. So most of the big companies are our customers, we can say that, and we are happy about it. And this further validates our solution. When you say that most, like the major vendors, they have IDEs, they actually don't have IDEs, in the sense that they have all sorts of tools, or to browse the structure of code and so on, but they are not code entry tools. Yes, they are like compile your whole verification environment, or your design and so on, and then you open the tool and you can look at design hierarchies and so on. But it's not that you can go back into the code and alter it and see it right away. You have big cycles, like I compile my whole code, then I load it in the simulator or whatever, and then if I want to change something or go back to my source, I cannot do that. So they are not strong on the editing side and on this aspect, yes. And also an IDE is supposed to be a development environment, and when you develop code, it's not correct. You start and you write, you scratch things and so on, so it doesn't compile actually. So in an IDE we have error recovery mechanisms. So when we detect pieces of code that are incorrect, either syntactically or semantically, we practically isolate, to say so, that piece of code, but the rest of the code is still indexed, and you can see hierarchies and move around and decide what should be the next step. Yes? When you work with the simulators or with major tools today, if your code does not compile, you cannot open anything. It's like, okay, please correct, and then we'll move on. And then you run for 10 more minutes, you correct something, and you do it, and it's a waste of time. In an IDE, if it's partially correct code, never mind, you can still see what comes out of your code that is under development, right? So it's not supposed to be correct. Yeah, I don't write correct code and then I start inspecting. I'm inspecting, changing here, there. Maybe I don't bring all the pieces together because I have to do something very fast, and I don't want to bring all the IPs, all the dependencies. I just want to move around in a snapshot or in a subset of my code. So, okay, obviously that piece is not going to work out of the box, but I'm developing code, right? So I don't have to be correct, yeah.
So how many customers do you have?
I think in terms we have about 70 names. And this means, like, in terms of users, probably almost 3K users.
So many of these customers have got multi-seat licenses?
Yes, they have multi-seat licenses. Actually, we sell just floating licenses, FlexLM, typical model. Okay. And usually the mapping is one license per engineer that does coding. This is unlike simulators where you can buy more licenses because you run regressions and so on. When we talk about an IDE, the maximum number of licenses, let's say, you could sell in a site is the number of engineers, because then everybody has it on its desktop, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay, and what else is going to be new in 2014 from AMIQ?
Well, there are a couple of things that we have in mind. But we'll have to wait and see, right? So cool stuff, yeah.
Are you going to be at DAC?
Yes, we are going to be at DAC. But by the DAC time, yeah, probably there will be one or two things. But we prefer to focus our energy before DVCon. DVCon is the design and verification conference. Is the area where we have our solution. So, as I said, it's the best show for us. Yeah, the best exhibition. It's a niche. It's focused. DAC it's a bit more diluted, and it's not our, major show.
So how can people find out more about AMIQ and your products on the internet?
They just go to amiq.com, and that's it. From there, it's pretty straightforward. You click and you see more. So, or you Google for DVT Eclipse IDE or SystemVerilog IDE or e-language IDE, and probably you are the first hit.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Cristian, for coming over, talking to us. Have a great show.
You too. Thank you very much.